Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good whatever, good vibes, good. I love you guys. Thanks for coming out here. I know it's been a bit of a drag, the last couple weeks out here, but we've got a really cool project out here. The people from BubbleWorld that are minting their pass in not too long have been very gracious to carve out a little bit of time for us to learn about their great project. They've also provided some whitelist spots for our community. They've also even been kind enough to provide some for the people that are here in the AMA, and I appreciate you guys coming out here. My name's Zero Cool. Yeah. So how are you guys doing, Bubble World?
Yeah, doing great. Doing great. How about yourself?
Good, good.
Yeah. As like I was saying before, it's like given everything that's going on, as good as I can possibly be. Kind of looking forward to learning about this. I feel like one of the cool things about this, this market right now is that a lot of really exciting and interesting and new and innovative projects coming out, and you guys have something really cool that you have presented, and you guys have been building for several months now, and what I like to do during these AMAs is, obviously it's an ask me anything, and usually we ask questions. But for everyone out there that may have just stumbled in here, maybe saw my Discord ping and we're like, hey man, there's an AMA, let me go check it out. Let's see what's going on. Just give us kind of a little bit of an elevator pitch and point out some of the really cool things, why your project is, set a different, like, from other projects, and like, you guys are minting, it's like a founder's pass and other good stuff. Just like kind of go through a little bit of a rundown and let us all know all the good things.
Yeah, 100%. Would love to. So BubbleWorld is a curated set of NFT collections from amazing creators from the Web 2 space that are just entering in to the Web 3 world. That is launching on a platform called Bubble House, which is also part of what we are building, what we have built actually already. So I think I'm going to jump in and talk about Bubble House first, and then move over to Bubble World just to give that a bit more context. So Bubble House is our platform. It's an NFT marketplace with a big social component to it as well. And the main ethos of the platform is the idea of accessibility, both for the creators and for the collectors. So, on the collector side, the whole point is ease of use, making it as easy to get into the NFT space if it's your first time doing so, and just making the whole process super streamlined. You can pay through your credit card, you can pay through crypto, you can pay from your wallet. You really don't need to have a big knowledge of the crypto space or the NFT space to be able to get an NFT from Bubble House. And it's all about getting that one friend that everyone has who's interested in the NFT space, but is always like, what is a MetaMask? How do I connect it? How do I add ETH? How do I buy ETH? Where should I buy it from? Maybe sometimes what is ETH? And we just want to eliminate all of that and have as many people have the chance to experience the beauty that we're all experiencing already, and have that be more accessible to everyone. But then not only that, on the creator front, we make it super easy for any creator to launch a project. The creator doesn't need to worry about all of the difficulties that come with the development of a project, with scraping whitelist addresses, with understanding how to connect the minting functionality onto their website, with any of that. All of that is done through the platform and on the platform itself. All that the website needs to serve as is just telling people about the project. And then when people have their artwork ready, they just upload it to Bubble House and have a dashboard where they can control who they want to whitelist it to, who they want to give the project to. They can bulk upload for a brilliant sort of for a very easy experience to mint their project, and really control everything right there on the platform without needing to get in touch with developers and really cutting that middleman out. So yeah, all about accessibility, all about that, and there's also a great commission structure on the platform, which I'll get into a bit later as I tell you more about Bubble World first, because that would give it even more context. But yeah, so basically, Bubble World is the premium set of collections that we are curating, that we are making, that we are working with creators to present to our community, with the whole focus being giving as much value back to the community as is humanly possible. And we have a great team of people on our Bubble World project. We have myself, Drop, Kaba, Crip, Nat, Phil Needs, and Wab, who's our advisor. So really, a lot of Web3 experience as well. And yeah, we're just super excited about what's to come. This is This is going to be incredible, and the way that our project, the way that BubbleWorld is launching, is with the Founders Pass. The Founders Pass is that Genesis collection, which will give you access to all of these amazing IP and all these amazing projects from these super established creators. And we're launching the Founders Pass as a 10K collection, where the holders are going to receive where all of the holders are going to be receiving whitelist spots to all of the seasons that we're going to be releasing with BubbleWorld. Sorry, BubbleWorld's going to be releasing in seasons, as I mentioned, of about 6 7 collections. And the whitelist and the holders of the Founders Pass are going to get whitelist access into all of these seasons. On top of that, they'll be receiving some premium pricing, a 30% reduced public mint on all of the curated collections if they end up minting on the public side, and a 50% reduced trading commission platform wide on Bubble House for any NFT that they want to purchase. We're also going to be doing a token airdrop closer to Q4 really of this year, and there's going to be guaranteed allocation to holders of the Founders Pass. And the token airdrop is going to come from staking that will essentially be derived from how long you keep your pass delisted for from the first day that you mint it. So really, once again, making it super simple to have that staking mechanism in. As long as you don't list your pass, you're guaranteed to get a really good allocation of that coin, with that allocation being given with a priority of that allocation being given to the Founders Pass holders, and then a smaller allocation being given to people that hold the individual projects within BubbleWorld that are going to be launching and that are going to be available to the Founders Pass holders. The second tier of our Founders Pass, which we're going to be releasing after the 10K collection that's going to be minting next Thursday at 6 p.m. ET, is the Executive Founders Pass. There's only 300 editions of those, and that's going to be really allocated. It's going to be full whitelist, and it's going to be allocated to project leads, to people with great communities that have been helping us along the way already, and that we feel would be incredibly beneficial to the community and that would benefit greatly from owning the Executive Founders Pass. And that's going to give you guaranteed whitelist access to every single curated collection on that is going to be coming out under BubbleWorld. So the difference between this one and the regular Founders Pass is that the Founders Pass gives you a 50% whitelist to the curated collections, meaning if there's a season, seasons are going to be of about 6 to 7 collections. So the regular Founders Pass, owning one of those, is going to give you guaranteed 3 to 4 whitelist spots for each one of those seasons. Whereas with the Executive Founders Pass, you're going to be getting every single collection's whitelist as they come out. Now, one thing to note with the regular Founders Pass on that note is that if you own 2 of the regular Founders Passes, then you enter what we like to call the Geo state, which gives you that same benefit of having access to every single whitelist collection. If you own only one pass, that means it's 50%, but it's not by chance. It's done in a way that if you don't receive a whitelist for a given collection that has released, you will be prioritized for the next one that's coming out. So back to the Executive Founders Pass. On top of being able to get whitelist spots for every collection, there's a 60% reduced public mint if you end up minting on the public side, and a free trading platform wide on Bubble House, and then also that guaranteed token allocation that I spoke about as well. And then the third and final tier of the Founders Pass is the Supreme Founders Pass. There's going to only be one edition of this one, and it's going to be auctioned off later after the other 2 have released. We do need SEC approval for this pass to be released, because one of the big rewards of this pass is that you get 1% of the primary mint for all curated collections allocated to the Supreme Pass Founders holder. So you get every single whitelist spot, and you actually also get a free mint on every curated collection, and then you also get 1% of the primary mint. So there's money flowing back the other way. So we need to get that approval before we can release that. But the person who's going to be getting that one is definitely going to be one lucky bugger. So yeah, that's the overall structure of the Founders Passes. And what they actually give you access to is also very important. So far we've only revealed season 1 of BubbleWorld. But there's going to be more seasons to come. We're already working on season 2, and there's some amazing collections coming out there. But regarding season 1, the first collection I'd like to mention is the Seraphim. It's an amazing artist creating some absolutely brilliant artwork. We truly believe he's a genius. The way he sets up traits, and you can't even tell where one trait ends, where one trait begins, how they all interconnect. It's actually incredible. He's built up a really, really big audience on Instagram already. He has 300 about 330K followers because of the amazing art that he produces, and we're incredibly excited to have been working on his collection for a long time now as well. It's called the Seraphim. It's about these godly like beings that live on the ether, which is like a world of full of wild magic that's like parallel to the earth. And the whole lore behind that is that they each one of the sects has these powers that they use to construct and to stabilize that wild magic world of the ether. And there's one sect that is super against that. They like the craziness of that world, and so there's a bit of conflict going on there. But yeah, incredible art, great storyline, and we can't wait to share even more with you than what you can see on the pitch deck. Then the next release we're going to be having is Brooke Monk. Brooke Monk is one of the biggest TikTok influencers in the world. She has 26 million followers on TikTok, and we know the sentiment that comes around these big celebrities entering the Web3 space. But we can assure you that we have been working tirelessly together with Brooke, and she loves the idea of Web3, and she fully understands it. She fully understands the idea of this being a long-term project, providing for the holders, really working together with her community, and she's going to be bringing a lot with her club pass, which is what we're calling it, like meetups, both in real life and virtual, airdrops of exclusive NFT releases, movie nights, competitions, giveaways, you name it. She's really going to be catering for that community, and she's going to be really, really in it, and she's excited to bring aboard an entirely new community that she hasn't had before. The other collection coming out in season one is Buddy Gator. It's from a brilliant artist who, once again, very renowned in the Web2 space. About 600K followers on his Instagram. He's been building this character for a number of years already, and he's entrusted us to really bring it to the Web3. It's all about positivity. It's all about this collection is needed for those days when you're just not feeling it, when you've just been having a stinker and you want something positive to look at. The baby gators is really where you're at for this one. It's all about these tiny alligators that live in this positive world. And then a couple of years ago, these negative elements started entering into the space, and the only way to defeat them is to work together and just gather even more positive energy. So it's all about the concept of positivity and feeling good, which we do all need sometimes, I must say. So we're excited to bring that to you as well. Then we have the Chizus, brilliant collection about all about working together in a post-apocalyptic world where these citizens have these robotic enhancements, and they need to work together to really rebuild that world and allow for it to survive and not completely descend into chaos. Incredible art there as well. We really love the attention to detail here, and the artist who's behind that. It's truly amazing. Cindy Cat's another collection that we have by another incredible artist. She has about 1 million followers on Instagram. People love her artwork, and it's all about these cats that live in the secret underground society. Where they sort of roam, but they are oppressed by the elite, and they're trying to battle against this oppressing elite by also working together and scheming and all that sort of good stuff. We have another TikToker that's coming out in season one, Rachel Brockman. Very similar concept to Brooke Monk. She's super excited about what the Web3 space is. She's going to be doing some cool stuff like voting on her content, voting on her life. Both Rachel and Brooke are going to be posting token gated content on our platform, which is basically content that's only viewable to people that have the pass. So continuously giving these special posts and special content to the holders to make them even closer to her than they have been before. So yeah, really excited about that one as well. We think we're really changing the game of how these influencers are interacting with communities. Something that hasn't really been done before to this extent. And then last but not least, the Malnoms, another super cute collection for fans of that. It's about these playful and peaceful cows that not cows, sorry, cats that have been forced out of their planet by an army of frustrated and angry pugs. And they're just not sure why these pugs decided to attack them, but they ended up finding their way to the metaverse, and now they have a chance to partner with us, humans, as they call us, to essentially work together and figure out, what on earth just happened there. How can we get our planet back, and how can we, become friends with the pugs again? Because way back when they were actually friendly, and it couldn't even occur to them that they could attack. But yeah, so there's lots coming with Bubble World, and lots has already been released. We gave out 2 free NBA drops to our whitelisted members with DeMarcus Cousins and without Prince Şengün, with rewards such as being able to go see a courtside game next season when NBA is back on after it finishes this year, and an ability to meet them virtually, or to get some signed a signed copy of the NFT. So just a really nice token of our appreciation to everyone who is part of our community already. We have a really really big party at NFT NYC shortly, where Quavo is going to be headlining and Lost Kings. We actually did another mystery box, so we announced another mystery box the other day around it, where some of the not whitelisted, some of the holders are going to have the opportunity to see Quavo, meet him backstage. We're going to be flying out 2 of the holders to NFT NYC to attend the party. So we're going to pay for the tickets. We're going to pay for a stay in a hotel here in New York City. And yeah, we're just excited to be bringing lots more to our holders. We're excited to announce season 2. Some of those collections are incredible, and we're already tirelessly working to get those to this gold standard that we have. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of Bubble World. I know there's probably a lot of things that need clarification, so I'm more than happy to answer anything and everything that you guys have questions about.
Wow, I'm impressed. You went through that like a rap god, like similar to the way I kind of do AMAs there. Just gonna got it all out there. It's I mean, it's good that you did it that way because there's a lot to talk about, obviously. There's definitely some questions out here that people are curious about, but one of the main things is I was just curious is just this is basically like in layman's terms is like a mint pass that kind of like like so to speak whitelists you for all the projects of the upcoming collections that you're doing with those people that you went down, like with the different influencers and all that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it gives you access to that, and all of those projects are going to be launching on our proprietary platform. And the other thing that is to mention about that is our new amazing commission structure that we're introducing on Bubble House, which hasn't been done before. So just for those that don't know, Bubble House has already launched. We have a great network of investors, and we've already made that platform happen. We're not one of those projects that promises a platform after we release. The platform was already there, and there's people creating NFTs right now. It's been in beta for a couple of months. So the commission structure, which I promised to talk about at the start of my speech, is truly revolutionary in our opinion. So it's still the same 2.5% platform fee and 5% creator royalty. However, this will only be taken on the profits that someone makes from selling their NFT. So if you buy an NFT for 10 ETH and you sell it for 11 ETH, OpenSea would take commission from the full 11 ETH that you sell it for. In our platform, you will only be commissioned on the 1 ETH profit that you made. So really, we think this is super important because there's a huge liquidity problem in the space right now. People aren't willing to invest in floors because you need to do a whole lot of mental math around how much the floor needs to go up by for you to actually make some money and not end up losing it, even if the floor's gone up. On our platform, if that floor goes up even by zero point 0.1 or 0.01, you are making money and you're only paying commission on the profit itself. And there's also downside protection in that, because if you leave with the same money that you put in, there's no commission. If, God forbid, the floor goes down, there's also no commission and no platform fee taken. So we're really looking to add that liquidity and add that ability for people to trade past the first couple of days when the mint hype cycle is happening and no one cares about the percentages. We really want it to be an asset that people can quickly and buy and sell, and for it to be liquid, much like it is with cryptocurrencies or with any other asset that people tend to invest in. We really want to add that space to the NFT market, and we're super excited to be bringing that with our platform. And we can only do it because we own both the collection side of things and the platform side of things. So with having both of those, that golden duo were able to give this and make an amazing project, an amazing platform for all of our holders and everyone that's interested in being part of our journey.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, that's great. I'm just curious when you say that your own platform and all that stuff. So the Mint Pass itself is on the Ethereum blockchain, correct? And then these NFTs, or what are they? Would you consider these NFTs that are the collections that you're releasing? Are they also on the Ethereum blockchain, or is that on your own platform where you buy and sell them through that way?
Yeah, it's all on Ethereum that you're going to be able to transfer
Okay,
them out and
so
sell them on
all the
OpenSea.
projects
Yeah,
that all of them that you mint, you'll be able to, trade, buy and sell and trade on OpenSea, correct?
yeah, you just
Okay.
wouldn't be getting that amazing commission structure. It would be like normal and OpenSea, but yeah, decentralization is at the core of all of this. So yeah, they're all on ETH, and yeah, you'll be able to transfer them in and out.
Awesome. Yeah. So that was kind of, I just wanted to make sure that was clarified for everyone because I know that there is another type of pass that's not at like not similar or the same. I'm not saying anything that, but it's called the Recur Pass, and they are doing theirs on their own like platform, and it kind of like seemed like it was a really great idea, because they had the IP for, it's like Nickelodeon and all this really good stuff, but the problem is
Mhm.
that it's not on Ethereum, so it's kind of a little bit, it's not on Solana, the main chains that people like to buy and sell NFTs on, so it kind of like, it doesn't have really the pull that normally those NFTs would. So what
No,
kind
yeah,
of, oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
On that point zero, yeah, no. A couple things about Recur that we don't like. Number one, it's a closed platform. It's not an open marketplace. On Bubble House, anyone can come and mint. BubbleWorld is just a really premium, exclusive kind of set of collections that you're getting direct whitelist access to by owning the pass. That's number one. Number two, Recur did an open drop for a day, and they literally sold like 58,000
Yeah,
passes,
no, that was the
which is
biggest issue. I was like, I know that you want to buy this so that you can get this, but there has to be a limited edition aspect
exactly
to it, or people are not going to want it. It's just normal.
one
Like it's just,
hundred percent makes total yeah it makes total sense. Which just screams cash grab. I mean, the fact that you're selling 58,000. I mean, how are you supposed to scarcity's core? I mean, what real
yeah,
form of value are you going to add to 58,000 people? It
yeah. I mean,
makes no
that's the
sense.
truth right there.
Um, and the third one is that the way that they structure collections is not in a way that really can form a valuable asset, in my opinion. They were doing like, yeah, they had big IP, I agree, with collegiate drops and whatnot, but like
Right.
they were doing like essentially drops that opened up instant player cards and things like that. They really weren't forming a cohesive collection out of each one that made a lot of sense to build community around each one. That got people excited, that had essentially a roadmap ahead of it, that meant something. So it was just a lot of things that I think didn't make sense. And on top of all that, they're not on ETH, right? They're on Polygon. So
Yeah.
just like all those different things that like lined up and just didn't make much sense. I actually know they're a co-founder, but like yeah, I mean, I just think that like in terms of the project itself, like I just didn't think it made a ton of sense, at least in my eyes. And we're doing things very differently. And the primary sale happens on Bubble House too, by the way. That we were essentially easing it up. So right now creators have to build that functionality into their website. On Bubble House, essentially they don't have to do that. The platform takes care of it for them. And absolutely it's decentralized. These collections, you can launch 10K projects on Bubble House, it allows that accessibility component of things. It allows the profit only commission structure. And essentially seeds the community on the platform because the minting happens there too, right? Right now, minting happens on websites, all individual project websites. Here, the minting happens on the platform. So the community already is seated on the platform, and we want the commission to essentially keep them in the platform trading because it's just so much easier to make money with a commission structure like this
Yeah.
as opposed to the OpenSea one. But of course, decentralization is important. If you want to move things out, you want to sell them on OpenSea and Lookster, that's you're absolutely free to do so. And if you want to move things back in, you can do that too. But this is a very different type of thing, I'd say, compared to Recur.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the only thing that I could kind of relate to that I've seen that came in here. But so what you are saying though is basically you are kind of doing what Recur's doing, but you're doing it in a different way with like some more, um, a little tastier like ideas instead of it being on Polygon, you're on Ethereum and all that good stuff. So it's like it is a similar style, correct?
Yeah, I mean, in some, I honestly would just call it its own thing.
It's just like a mint. It's just a mint pass
It,
that you guys are
it,
basically you're going to leverage like your connections and your knowledge in the Web3 space and try to onboard people such as like that Brook person and all that kind of stuff into making their own collections. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah. So like lots of great just premium collections across the board, whether they're in Web 2 or Web 3 or not. just amazing premium collections. And it's not just like leveraging our connections, but just like building amazing collections with just the best creators across the board. You see Roy the Art, you see obviously Brooke is one that's more grounded in Web 2 and is entering Web 3, but she's very she loves the way essentially that, like Anton said, a lot of Web 2 creators enter the Web 3 space in the wrong way, and BubbleWorld guards against that, right? We vet the creators very carefully so that it's essentially a reassurance against like all these cash grabs that happen, so that the BubbleWorld community doesn't have to worry about it. It's a big issue that individuals don't know how to screen, because they don't know the creator. But we know the creators very intimately, and we only choose to work with the ones that actually want to build correctly in this space, and we build with them every step of the way, and because our names are on the line as well. So in terms of the internet personalities, things that are more, we work with NBA players. We did a free mystery box drop that we've given for free to our holders as well. But yeah, essentially at the core of it, it's it's VIP access in the entire BubbleWorld ecosystem. It's a premium ecosystem, and the pass gives you access to all the different, like you said, what the whitelist access into it. It gives you access to the commission, the 50% reduced commission structure. 50% reduced commission in general. So every time you're trading, you're getting 50% reduced commission compared to the other guy. So you're essentially saving money every time you're trading, and you're the only people who own the fast. The only people who get that reduced commission structure are the people who own the Founders Pass. You also get the token airdrop towards the end of the year, and the utility of the token is that you can use the token to buy anything on the platform as a payment method, and we're going to take a commission discount in order to make it the most attractive payment method compared to Ether or credit card. So essentially, that's sort of driving why someone should buy the coin, because they're saving money if they buy the coin and they're trading with it. And of course, you get the coin through staking, you get the coin through airdrops and things like that too. So there's that aspect of things, and then just the community and the free mystery boxes that come along the way. We did the NBA drop that gives you access to get courtside seats, that gives you access to meet the players, and some physically signed merch and Zoom with them. Those were the different tiers, as well as we're doing another mystery box right after the mint for holders, where essentially holders will get access to, depending on what tier you get, either 5 of the exec passes for free, or being able to meet Quavo backstage at the party, or being able to enter the VIP section of the party as well, and being able to fly. We're flying actually 2 people into NFT NYC as well if you open up that tier. And if you're not coming to NYC and you get that tier, you can sell it off as well, because those are NFTs in their own right. So just mystery boxes like that along the way. So you're getting access essentially to this entire ecosystem as a Founders Pass holder.
Awesome. So is kind of like, what's your you mint this pass, and you've got some great artists that you guys are going to help with some collections with. What's the grander vision? Say like in a year from today, what is kind of are you guys trying to do? Are you trying to onboard more up and coming artists to be able to help them do their collections through the Bubble World Mint Pass, or like what's kind of like the grand plan here?
Yeah, we want to build this entire really premium ecosystem. An analogy I like to make is what LVMH is doing in the Web 2 space, but doing it in Web 3. So LVMH being this overarching brand under which it owns Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, Moet, Hennessy, Tiger, all these really premium collection brands, companies across liquor to fashion to watches and so on, but all united by that same sense of perception, desirability, execution, right? And likewise, we want BubbleWorld to be that overarching brand, in Web3 as well, under which you have all these different premium collections across, it could be PFP related things, it could be internet personalities, it could be sports, whatever it is, and I'm sure more in the future too. And united and grounded by the Founders Pass, which is essentially the VIP access in this entire ecosystem. And we want this entire ecosystem to continue to build. The Founders Pass holders are not the only holders in the ecosystem. We want it to continuously build so that essentially new people are being added all the time, as part of these collections too. But the Founders Pass people are essentially the top of the line holders, the VIPs who always get the most exclusive and best things in the collection, in the ecosystem. And that's and to continue to innovate, of course, across the collections in general, and what they give access to and what they do. I think there's a lot of room for NFTs to have to expand in terms of utilities. Some could be more ticketing related. We've explored things like that. Token gated content obviously is another one. PFP related things are their own kind of set of projects too. Internet personalities, sports related utilities too. We like to make the example of things as far as like collections that, for example, allow you to vote on like Love Island, things like that. So just continue to innovate in the space, but always, putting our holders are our number one responsibility. So making sure that whatever we bring into the ecosystem is just top of the line.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. And some of these like newer collections, I was kind of curious, is like, why would someone, is it just because is it just like artists that want to like kind of do another collection, or is it, why do they want to go through like this bubble world way instead of just like releasing the NFT on their own and, making a ton of money that way?
Go ahead, Anton. Over to you.
Yeah, I think the main reason for that is the simplicity that we offer. Like first of all, not everyone can release on Bubble World. Bubble World is really curated and is really for the special collections that we deem to be of that highest quality. But why a collector would want to go to Bubble House, for example, is because of the simplicity aspect to it, really. But we really, in terms of Bubble World, we really pick our creators through a really stringent vetting system. We really look out for quality above everything else. We look for creators that are willing to provide for their community and that are willing to do, a really special project and that have, quality at heart. We actually had one project that we were doing with someone who had, a total of about 20 million followers across these different socials, but we realized that the project wasn't up to that highest standard that we're hoping for, that we want to have in Bubble World. So we ended up cutting it midway. It's really, the quality is really at the forefront for everything. And if someone manages to get into Bubble World and get into that ecosystem, they get access to all of these, to this amazing community that is already there, waiting for the next amazing release to happen.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense there, because it's like, of course, one of the biggest problems I feel like with the NFT space right now is that people, not just people who are buying and selling NFTs themselves, but more so the fact that people are, they're like, oh, this is an easy way. If I sell out my NFT project, I make, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's kind of like one of those things I was definitely curious to see, but the way that you give me that explanation, that it clears things up a lot more. Another thing that I was kind of curious about, that I was thinking, was is like, could just do a little bit, because you kind of like went through the pass really quickly and everything like that. So the different, you said there's 300 of like this, there's like a special founders pass, and then there's the one of a kind founders pass. Those are not different mints. Those are just one mint, and those are like kind of like a rarity thing. Like when it reveals that you could have a special pass, or you could have the one of the kind one.
No, those would be separate mints. So the first mint is for the 10,000 Founders Pass collection that we're doing, and then after that, we're going to be doing the executive whitelist, and that's mainly going to be, it's going to be full whitelist, mainly going to go to project leads and high quality, like high up people in the space, but also we're going to give opportunities for people to win the ability to get that executive founders pass. Like Drop was explaining, we have a mystery box coming up, and the top tier prize in that is we have 5 of those passes that will be allocated to 5 lucky winners from the holders that have the regular founders pass. So we're going to be giving opportunities to our community as well, but it's going to mainly be whitelisted and allocated to big project leads.
The reason that's the case is that the project leads spend a lot of time fostering their communities, hosting AMAs, managing giveaways, scraping together lists for you guys, sending it over to us. So we wanted to give a little bit more to them, essentially, for a great collaboration that takes a lot of effort behind the scenes that you guys don't see. So essentially, that we wanted to give them that extra bit of incentive too, and reward them that way. And of course, the Founders Pass itself, the 10K one, is just an absolutely amazing pass as well. So that's the main one, and the main difference between the exec one is that. So the normal Founders Pass, that gives you access to essentially 50% of the mints guaranteed across all the BubbleWorld collections. If you own 2 of them, we call it the duo state, you will get access to every single one. So you will also get more than 2 times the staking rewards and more than 2 times the token airdrop. So we call it the duo state. So that's essentially on that front. And the exec pass kind of automatically enters the duo state. So it's only 300, so it's a very small collection. And essentially they get also whitelist access to every single collection. But you as a essentially normal, for the normal pass, you can also get duo kind of you enter the duo state essentially by owning 2 passes.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and instead of asking my own questions, I'm gonna try to get some of these ones that are people aren't asking in the audience here. Someone was just asking a question basically in regards to the bear market. How has it affected the upcoming mint process, and what are your expectations of the market in general? You know, because like if you guys are minting now, what kind of going off of this thing is like, in a bear market, you guys are helping onboard like like minting other people's collections within the Bubble World community. But the thing is that like during the bear market, this is making people not really want to buy NFTs. Like, how are you guys gonna combat with this?
Yeah. So in terms of the bear market, I think this is a very different type of project in the sense that if people see a lot of people see value in it, and if there's some people who just are used to free mints, then stick to the free mints. That's fine. But if you want whitelist access over a long period of time, for all these different collections that are very premium across this entire ecosystem, access to the token airdrop, access to the staking rewards, the reduced commission structure, and so on, then that's something that that you invest the amount that you invest in, which is 0.18. We think it's actually really reasonable. And if you don't want to, I mean, that's totally your call too. So it's up to you. I mean, the market is supposed to have different people who like to buy different things, which is totally fine. And so, yeah, I mean, we believe that the bear market ultimately just shakes down projects that are not good. And so I think it just, hopefully shines a light on projects that have a lot of value. And we really think that we're one of those from the reactions that we're seeing from our community. They're very supportive too. And, especially the people who understand the project are very excited about it. And tons of people are like, I mean, they're like, all right, yeah, I mean, I'm ready to, enter my duo state as well. So, it really depends on the person, and that's okay. Yeah.
Cool. Got another question. I mean, that's just like, of course, you're probably been asked that question a bunch about the bear market. Comes up in pretty much every one of my AMAs for the last like 3, 4 weeks. So it's definitely understandable, and I think I think you guys definitely have something different that's going on here, and your community is going to tell you the most information about what that you need to know, and it seems like you guys have been kind of listening to your community and taking your time to mint properly and to do your due diligence on what you guys need to do for this current market state. Someone else was asking. I'm just gonna go ahead and read the whole thing. They read through the Bevel House website, and the UI looks very nice. My question is to the collections planned to be launched in the Bubble House are dropped in. Is the Bubble House servers ready to handle the user influx so as to avoid the website from crashing like we have seen on OpenSea continuously? And has the dev side of the team estimated the amount of user interaction they expect to see?
Yeah, performance is at the core of what we do. So, our backend team is really big. It's like 6 people on the backend team. And, you know, we very, very, very much focus on performance because we understand that essentially in the NFT space, things happen in spikes. So we load test and things like that to make sure that we can handle it.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean that's great. It's definitely something, it's a normal thing to think about, if you're having a bunch of collections being launched off of one platform, I mean OpenSea is number one, but that's, everyone calls it broken sea or dead sea because it's, oftentimes it's just not doing anything. It's not working properly because there's an influx of users coming there. So it's definitely a normal question. It's good that you guys have already like hired, and I always get very bullish on a project when they hire when they do stuff over the top, like they hire more devs and more people to get their project out there instead of putting more money into their pockets. There, when you see
Mhm.
people hiring and doing things like that even before mint, you definitely kind of feel a lot better about it. Someone was asking, have you considered combining your services with other projects and offer package deals?
That's an interesting one. So definitely many people approach us because I think they see the value in what we're doing. Um, whether we're very open to collaborating with other projects. I think that the real question comes down to, is there a lot of value to be had for holders? If there is, then we'll explore it more seriously. If there isn't, then we won't bring it into the ecosystem. So it really depends on that. But we are definitely open minded about collaborations. I think a lot of good things happen, with collaborations in general.
Cool. So they're also referencing the Ad Runner project, say meaning that will be creating interactive billboards all over the metaverse soon, and could offer ad placements for free to creators, projects, or NFT holders within the Web3, even streams directly into the metaverse. If so, please inform if that's something as we considered and whom to connect to. Like, so they're asking if like you can work together with getting stuff out there. It sounds like they're the ad runners is like a metaverse like ad like agency, I guess you could say. I guess that's what they're talking about. Have you
Mhm.
thought about anything like that?
Wait, sorry, you're saying this is your project?
No, 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 no. Someone was asking, Skywalker was asking a question about like they were because like what they do on a project called Ad Runner, is they create interactive billboards, and they were wondering if like that you guys would be interested in if that's something that could like help out. Like you have interactive billboards like all over the metaverse talking about different projects. Say like BubbleWorld is now minting these guys and stuff like that. Have you guys done anything in Decentraland or anything like that? I actually recently went to one of my first like kind of metaverse parties out in it, and it was kind of cool. Going off of what they're saying is there's a lot of like room for interactive like like ads out there, and I think that that would be something that actually Bubblework could benefit from the different to let people know the different artists that you guys are like, hey, blah blah blah, Brooke is minting this time or and stuff like that. So I guess
Yeah.
that's what Ad Runner does, and they're just curious if there's a way to contact some people about that.
Yeah, so I think I'd say two things about that. Number one, there needs to be the number of eyeballs to support it. So I think ads all about eyeballs at the end of the day. So if there are tons of eyeballs, then I think that's definitely something to explore. I'm a little bit concerned about like exactly how many users would be able to see it in Decentraland or Sandbox. I know that I'm not sure that the user count is that high right now, at least. But the day that there are tons of eyeballs on there, then I think that's something that could be really interesting, and all sorts of brands are going to want that too. I think, and all sorts of projects as well. And the other thing is, I think that ads need to be done in a very careful and subtle way in especially in the Web3 space. I think if anything, I think all of us feel this way, right? If we see a sponsored post show up on Instagram trying to promote a collection, it just feels like a cash grab, right? And
Yeah,
a
you
lot.
don't ever want to like go with something like that because you feel like you don't want to be told what to like. You like to like what you want to like,
Exactly, exactly. You like what you like, and the best things here are formed organically, and people find out about them through, through their Twitter pages and through giveaways and through retweets and things like that. And I think just sticking to, and I love that spirit. It's actually very interesting. That you can't spend. It's in a way it's hard to spend money and get a direct correlation output like you can in Web 2, right? Because it is a very different kind of marketing in the Web 3 space, which is very interesting. I think it's a very interesting thing. So as long as whatever we do, we want to stick to that really organic spirit too. So as long as that's the case, we're open to exploring, whatever forms of means. Yeah.
Awesome, great question. I mean, great answer and good question as always. How many mystery box tiers are there? Someone was asking in the crowd.
All right, I'll give this to Anton.
Yeah, it depends on each mystery box. So for each one we do different ones, but for this particular one that we're releasing just now, for right after the mint, there's going to be four different tiers. The first tier with the executive pass whitelist opportunities. The second tier with the tickets for flying to the party and the hotel room. And the third tier with the Quavo backstage meetup. And the fourth tier with VIP passes to the party to get to the VIP section at the NFT NYC party.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So we had another good question out there from one of the guys that works here. It's King. He says, so a traditional trader with known existing marketplaces, for me, this new platform is quite confusing. Is the app currently finished? Because I do have the app and I did receive the two NBA NFTs, but somehow looks like it looks like it is in the app and absolutely not clear how to get the NFT actually on the Ethereum blockchain. Also, I do not see any wallets in the app. Currently, when I try to collect a NFT, there's only a credit card option as a payment.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things. Number one, the full app is you'll see you're on early. So for your claim, for the mystery boxes are always done on Polygon because then you don't have to pay the gas fees in order to collect them or mint them. So mystery box always on Polygon because it really doesn't matter. It's almost like a disposable thing, right? You open up your tier and the tier has its utility, and it's not like it's a one-time thing. It's not a perpetual thing that needs to exist forever, like like a PFP or things like that. So they're all minted on Polygon. You can see the blockchain certificate on it. The app is not complete until the day of the drop in terms of the MetaMask payment. So the first MetaMask payment you're going to be able to do actually is for the Founders Pass. We're not putting it in yet because it's actually going to be the first Ethereum drop as well. So So you'll see it the day you can connect your MetaMask if you go verify your whitelist. But right now, for all the beta creators that you see on there, everything that you see on there is just beta small creators that we've invited onto the platform to test it. And so the first essentially, Ethereum payment that you can make will be on the day of the drop for the first Ethereum blockchain collection, which is the Founders Pass. In terms of the wallets, it's a custodial wallet, right? So it's a different way of thinking in general in the space. So it's not that when you sign up for an account, you automatically have a wallet set up for you. And the analogy here is what Coinbase crypto does. So if you have Coinbase, right, you signed up for an account on Coinbase and you bought Ethereum and you didn't have to set up a wallet at all, right? You have your wallet already there. You have your balance. You have you have your assets showcasing over there as well. Ethereum is if you buy and sell ETH on the platform, it's also moving and trading, and you didn't have to pay any gas fee, right, when you're trading ETH on the platform. So it's a very similar thing, right? At the end of the day, ETH is like an NFT. It's just fungible. It's the same idea over here, where essentially you sign up for an account, you have a crypto wallet automatically set up for you. You didn't have to do it yourself. You can pay with credit card. You can pay with crypto the day of the actual promo. And then when you trade NFTs on the platform, it's going to be zero gas as well. When you move things out, the transfer out is going to come a week or two after the launch, after the mint, essentially. So that's when you can move it to your MetaMask and sell it on OpenSea as well. And you can move things back if you want as well. So that's a week or two after the actual mint, which is next Thursday. And so really you're seeing just part of what's going to be there the day of the mint. We just haven't essentially opened it up to the public yet because it's the first Ethereum essentially drop that's happening on Thursday. So we haven't opened up the Ethereum related features that are happening. But the mindset of a custodial wallet is different. It's more akin to, like I said, the Coinbase crypto aspect of things, which is what we think is ultimately going to be the case in the mainstream world. And look what Coinbase crypto has done to democratize crypto trading across the world. We think that that's going to happen in the NFT space as well, because most people don't know how to think about MetaMask and downloading it and connecting it and doing all this stuff, right? They just want to sign up, buy their asset, and that's it. And so it is a bit of a mindset shift in general as well. And of course, we understand that, new app, people are going to take some time to get used to it, understand, where the things are. And, we're definitely open to continuously trying to listen to the community and just improve, how the UX and the UI works in general as well.
Awesome. Okay. Great answer. Definitely a good question for sure. I'm sure there's other people out there that are very curious about that and kind of, a little bit iffy about it, but that clears up a lot. A lot more is going to be done to it. And by the time it's mint time, that app is going to be refined and everything's going to be a little bit more intuitive. So I'm going to ask, if you own one pass, will the 50% whitelist access be random, or is there a way to select which projects you receive whitelist to?
So you can pick which ones you want. And if you don't get that one, you will get the next one for sure. So the next one that you want for sure. So that's how essentially you can sign up for everything that you want. If you don't get one, the first one's going to be a raffle. If you don't get that one, you're going to get the next one for sure. If you want to prioritize certain ones, so there are ones that that you don't want, you can automatically prioritize yourselves for those ones as well. So you can definitely pick the ones that you want, and you will. It's not a raffle on each one. You will be guaranteed at least 3 to 4 mints within every season.
Yeah, very cool. Then we have another question about the staking rewards. What are the rewards exactly, and what can you do with them?
The rewards are the tokens. So by staking, you get tokens, and the token is going to be able to be used to buy on the marketplace, and it's going to be cheaper for you to buy using the token compared to using other payment methods. So by using the token, if you had to pay $100 using ETH or credit card, you're going to have to pay more like 95, for example, or 97, depending on essentially how much we can cut. So it's going to be cheaper for you every time that you trade using it, and that's how we're introducing liquidity into the token. Because and obviously the token is a form of investment, just like people invest in ApeCoin and things like that. But that's the core utility of the token. There's also going to be exclusive collections you can only buy using the token and things like that. Exclusive merch you can only buy using the token. But those we view as more bonus things, and the day-to-day utility is the fact that you can use it as a payment method, and it's going to be the most cost-effective one.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Someone was asking about what's the process in which you guys go through and picking artists and teams and brands that you want to work with? Like, how are you approaching them, or is it more of people approaching you, or you guys actually actively going out and trying to seek other kind of partnerships with people to bring them to your platform?
Yeah, I'll give it to Anton. He does a lot of this.
Yeah, I'd say the vast majority is us going out and finding the correct partner. We don't work as a traditional launchpad would. It's very important not to confuse us with that. We're happy with people reach out to us, and people have been. But for us, it's important to vet and make sure that that project is really something that we would want to put our name and our brand behind as well. So the vast majority of the projects that actually all of the projects that we've done so far have or that we are releasing in season 1 are ones that we went out to and really seek people out that are interested in joining the Web3 space, interested in understanding how it works and providing for the community. But it may be that previously they wanted to get into it but didn't have the opportunity, didn't understand how to do it. With the confusion that does exist in the market for first time entrants. So it's mainly us going out and finding those special projects that people are going to love, but we are open to some people, to people messaging us, but it is a very stringent vetting process. So that's also very important to keep in mind.
That's good. I was curious though, like when you guys are doing a vetting process and all this kind of stuff, and you're trying to bring in, people from the Web 2 space and bring them to the Web 3 space. How are you gonna be able to like vet and like make sure that you're getting like the right people in here? Meaning people that are not just here just to try to make money. Because like in my opinion, what we need the most in the Web3 space is people who are in it for the right reason. We have a influx and we have a disproportionate amount of people who are just here to make money versus people who are trying to like actually do what Web3 is all about and trying to push the boundaries of it. So like is that kind of what's part of your vetting process? Are you guys trying to find people who are like truly in it for the right reason? Because TikTok people and all that kind of stuff, sometimes it gets a little bit of a negative connotation where they're doing whatever they can for viewers and for followers, and they want to do it just because they can make money off of it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. That connotation exists, and it's understandable, and it's unfortunate that that is currently the case. Yeah, a very important part of our vetting process is education and explaining to the creators, what Web3 is about and what the right mindset is to approach it. And then that's kind of the first step. And if we see that that person understands it and wants to be in it for those reasons, we proceed with the project and then see if the project ends up being high quality enough for us to release. But if that person, immediately gives us cash grabby vibes, or anything that is a warning signal to the fact that they want to be here really quickly, mint out and leave, we don't even start. We don't even touch the project. It's not what we're interested in, and not what we want to bring it into the space. We really want to bridge that gap between Web 2 and Web 3 and do it in the right way, where people from Web 3 get that educational aspect as well to understand what Web 3 is about and how best they can get into it.
Excellent. Definitely very good to hear. It's like I keep on harping on. I feel like you touched on it earlier when you're talking about the market and all that good stuff. The biggest thing is that right now is people that are building are going to survive because they're in the Web3 space for the right reason. But then there's people who are just the cash grabby people, and I believe that sometimes the bear market, for lack of a better term, it's of course it's a little bit of a hopium comment because we're just like over here, it's never good to be in a bear market, but bear markets do kind of help sometimes, and what they do is they trim the fat and they get rid of the people who don't belong, and hopefully like that will kind of what's going to happen with this bear market. So I do believe that some of the stuff that's for the people that are here for the wrong reason will be gone, and then we can actually push forward with like projects that are really actually here for the correct reason. So,
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
and King was asking, I think it might be a follow up to one of the questions before. He's asking, as long as the finished product does offer to withdraw the NFT to the NFT and to the ETH chain, it's fine. Also, if you can sell your NFTs in ETH and can withdraw this ETH is okay. Currently, I only selling in fiat and withdrawing in fiat to PayPal, so it kind of concerned him, is what he was saying.
It's not there yet. It's just not there yet. It's something that's going to be released with the first. There's no ETH NFT on the platform, so that's why it's not possible yet. But you'll see it. You'll see it on the day. If you want to wait until you see it, that's fine too. If you want to wait for the mint, but it might go away. Mint wise, the opportunity if that's the case. But yeah, you'll see it. I guarantee you that's the case. The number one, you're gonna be able to pay with your MetaMask in ETH. You're going to see the blockchain certificate in ETH as well. You can transfer it out to sell on OpenSea straight into your MetaMask. That'll happen 2 weeks after the mint. You can transfer things back in as well. And right now, yes, it happens in fiat because all the assets on the platform right now are on Polygon because that's what we're using for the beta. But again, the first collection is going to be the ETH collection, and you can be reassured about that.
So when we use the term "you're early," I'd say, King, you are very, very, very early.
You are early, exactly what
So
it is.
early that you're confused and you're worried that some of the stuff's not going to work properly. But I think that that's the only issue is that you're just early, and I think they're gonna. It sounds like they're gonna be working through this stuff as the mint actually happens. Let's see. I think we had another question here. How did this team come together? Could you tell us a little bit about how you guys started working together and like what kind of brought up the idea like, hey, let's do this mint pass idea with these great artists?
Yeah, totally. Give it to Anton.
Yeah, I think the platform has been in the works for about 2.5 years already, and we came together over time and through very different means. So Drop and Cabba, they knew each other for about 10 years already. I joined the team, a bit later on through a connection with Cabba because we both went to NYU. So like the sort of business side of the team, if you will, came like the us and what we do came together through some personal connections and through just people knowing people and finding great people that want to work together and that you'd be comfortable with spending 12 plus hours on Zoom calls every day. And then on the engineering side, very differently. Some of them came through the connections, is also personal connections. Others were referred by recruiting agencies because you really do need to have really, really skilled and really high quality people on the engineering side for it to all work together. The team's very big. It's about 25 people with everyone taken into account. And the idea of doing these collections came from the fact that we wanted to bring some great IP into the platform and use the platform to support some curated collections that we were looking to do. It evolved naturally from the product that we were building with the platform. It wasn't like an overnight sort of epiphany that one of us had. It just grew naturally together into what we're doing right now.
Very cool. I mean, it's always something that I like to look at because working together with a bunch of different people, and especially people in the Web3 space, are all over the globe. So sometimes even with just like the whole difference in culture, lost in translation type of stuff that does happen, it's definitely a concern because some rug pulls aren't rug pulls at the beginning. They turn into rug pulls because the team can't work together. So it's definitely always something that I like to kind of. I'm very interested about the team synergy. So, but yeah, we'll just let's see.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got
Yeah, I
another
totally
question.
agree about this.
Yeah,
Synergy is super important. Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's as important as community. The way that the team works together within themselves and the way that they act towards like within the community is definitely a very telling sign if a project's here to be for a long term or they're just trying to kind of cash grab it.
Totally. And by the way, on that point, for reassurance, we have raised a lot of money from a lot of very prominent investors so far. We've raised close to 9 million from people like David Guetta, Pharrell, Post Malone, Steve Aoki, MoonPay, GoPuff, Highsnobiety, venture capital firms like SV Angel, Third Kind VC, Water Tower Ventures, Ocho Capital, Kima Ventures, Soma Capital, a bunch of others. So there's a lot of people who really like the way that we're trying to innovate in the space. And yeah, so hopefully we ourselves have been building for over 2.5 years now. So there's a lot of essentially backing, hopefully, that can give some of that reassurance too.
That's good to hear for sure. It's definitely reassuring. I think I have another question here, and then if you guys have any questions of your own or not questions but like things you want to say of your own, I want to make sure you guys have the platform to kind of get all the good and juicy alpha out there to try to convince people to either want to buy this mint pass during the actual mint or to buy it on the secondary. So be thinking of some stuff like that as I'm going through these last questions. It looks like we have 2 more questions and then we'll try to like kind of wrap it after that. I try to keep these at around an hour is a good little nice stopping point. But if like I don't want to interrupt or anything like that. If you guys still have more stuff that you want to talk about, it's totally fine. So, is a staking question, and the staking tokenomics promotes not listing in order to gain tokens. So, what stops trades off platform from occurring? Which would you keep, the maximum token generation, or the team believes these trades would be minimal?
So it's only stakeable if it's delisted on the platform. So if you transfer it out and you're staking it there, it doesn't work. As in, like, if you're delisting outside, it has to be delisted on Bubble House, and in essentially your custodial wallet there. And so in that case, you're gonna actually be able to see the number of days that it's been delisted go up, and the more it goes up, the more tokens you're gonna get during the token airdrop as well. And so that's how the staking works.
Okay, so let's just say that like a pass holder wants to get rid of their tokens. Is it possible for them to sell their tokens to non-holders?
Oh yeah, we want to list this token on a full-on exchange, on-chain token. We want to list it on Coinbase, Gemini, and so on. That's why we want to build up a massive community in the BubbleWorld ecosystem in general first before we even do the token sale.
Will non-holders be able to buy these tokens from the Bubble House site, or is it just going to be from an exchange?
From an exchange, we want it to be listed on an exchange. Yeah.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure. Sometimes that these questions can be asked a different way, and some people it might be confusing a little bit. So want to make sure everyone kind of is understanding of what's going on. Will you be able to sell NFTs from projects that are not launched on the Bubble House platform and still get the advantages of trading fees?
That's a good question. So that will be stage 2 of what we're doing. So we're bringing on BubbleWorld first. We want to bring in the liquidity associated with that first as well, because we really think our new commission structure, it's important in order to expand the liquidity in the space in general, because the existing commission structure is not geared towards allowing NFTs to actually be an investable asset class. And I like to talk. So let me just answer the question and just add a little bit more as a side note. So once we establish liquidity, after that, that's when we want to essentially more formally invite other existing projects onto the platform and allow them to take advantage of the new commission structure as well. And that's just a stage 2 thing, because at the end of the day, the thing that an existing project cares the most about is liquidity and being able to sell. And if the new commission structure is going to make them more money, then they're going to come and sell here too with a new commission structure. And the idea here is that the commission structure has a lower margin per transaction for the creator, but on average, we want it to bring in more liquidity, so more volumes and more volume and more transactions, and that essentially allowing them to ultimately make even more money, as opposed to high margin and no transactions, right, or low transactions. So that's how we think the space is going to evolve. I mean, we've seen this happen across many different industries, right? Generally, margins go down, but volume goes up as a market matures. And the NFT, people say NFTs are an investable asset class. They're really not right now for serious liquidity. And the reason is that if you think of serious investable asset classes like treasuries, stocks, crypto, even as well, you're able to go, one big thing you need to be able to do is go into the asset and go out of the asset at the same price and not have lost a lot, right? That applies to treasury, stocks, and crypto. You buy a stock, you sell at the same price, you only lose a little bit, right? The commission is very low. Here, as for NFTs, you go in, you come out at the same price, you lose 7.5%, which is absolutely crazy. So no serious amount of liquidity is going to park money in the asset if they feel like they can't even exit the asset, at the same price and not lose 7.5%. On with this new commission structure that we're doing, right? You can enter, you leave, you don't at the same price, you don't lose anything. If you sell lower than you bought, you only lose the amount that you sold, as opposed to right now the amount that you lost on top of 7.5% on top of that. It's absolutely killer. And so with this commission structure, essentially, you only get taxed commission. You only get a commission on if you make a profit and on the profit itself, not on the entire transaction amount. So it's so much easier to make money. As a collector, your mindset becomes, if that floor price has gone up, it could have gone up 0.01, it could have gone up 1, it could have gone up 10. It doesn't matter. You've made money, right? Even if it goes up 0.01, you've made money, because the commission is only on the profit itself. Right now, you have to do mental math, right? I mean, when I'm trading right now on OpenSea, I have to think. I mean, number one, I don't trade that much anymore because it's so hard to make any money. And number two, you have to think, all right, this thing needs to go up at least 10%, which means that if, it really, let's say I want to make even a little bit of money out of it, it has to go up an extra 5%, so like 15% more, which means that if I sell it, I'm going to lose 7.5% of the amount that I sell it at, which is going to be X amount. And I subtract that from the selling price, which becomes this amount, which means that my profit ends up being this amount, right? So that's the kind of mental math you go through, which is just so killer to be able to make any money. It's like and so it's like a boat that's leaking water, right? Where the water is just going straight into the mouth of the platform, and that just is a huge blocker from any serious amount of liquidity from entering the space. And liquidity is like necessary for the space to expand. It's like a fountain, and right now the fountain's very dry because no water wants to come in and be part of this fountain, right? And in order for actually things to flourish in this space, we need a lot of liquidity, and hopefully, we think that this is kind of a necessary step to make that happen.
Well, that was a great answer. I mean, honestly, it's like you're thinking, like you're talking about, is that when you're like the whole thing with like the liquidity, it's such a good point that you make about the NFT space, and it's crazy because no other kind of exchange is the same way where like we have other side mints, and then all of a sudden the like because of one event, like the liquidity of the NFT space has been sucked out, and that really shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, it was like a leech, leeching all the liquidity out of it,
It's like a
and on top
vacuum.
of that, exactly,
Yeah, that's crazy.
exactly.
Um, so we got one more question. If you guys want to add anything else or talk about anything else, like I said, be thinking of it now. I'm assuming all trading on the platform is gasless because because it's
Exactly.
custodial. Gosh, can't talk. You were saying that's correct?
That's exactly correct. Yeah.
Awesome. It's definitely very cool. I appreciate you guys coming out here today. Like I said, once again, I'll give you guys another opportunity if you want to add anything else or if any last minute questions want to come out. Um, I see a person with their hand up, but usually I hadn't been at my computer. I've been back and forth. But I think I answered all his questions. If you guys have anything else you want to add, feel free to. I'm totally cool. If you guys want to pick some people out of the audience that maybe ask some questions or have been here the whole time
Yeah.
to
Let's see.
bestow a couple whitelist spots, that would
100%.
be
Let's
cool.
King Nictilla, some great questions there. Um, so just if you just write in general chat, just go into the BubbleWorld Discord, write in general chat. Let's see, Somsky, Kat said great questions too. Um, let's see, Skywalker. I think that's most of it, right? Oh, you already have whitelist. Dope. Um, oh, I see that final question by him, by the way, about VV. No, VV is a closed marketplace. I actually really quite dislike that marketplace. Because they really try and lock up your liquidity on it, with these gems, and they really are super sus about how you're actually supposed to exit it. And almost never let you do it. Honestly, I think it's low key a scam. And it's closed, right? So not anyone, like a creator can't go on VV and like mint a project and market to a community and have them come on and mint, right? It's just VV, if anything, is more like Recur, where they're releasing their own collections, and it's a closed marketplace, and you just buy and sell on it, and that's it, right? So I would say VV is actually a lot more like Recur, where Bubble House is more like an open sea in the sense that it's open, your liquidity is freely moving in and out. Creators can launch projects on there very easily. There's accessibility component. The commission structure is a lot more conducive for collectors to be able to make money as well. So it's much more like that, and yeah, I wouldn't even make the comparison with VV in some sense. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, you guys have obviously done your market research of everything else out there that's trying to do something that's could be at all considered similar to what you guys are doing, which is really great. I mean, some people don't really do all this kind of research, and it's kind of a bit frustrating and a little bit disheartening that they get up here, they're minting an NFT, and it's just like they haven't even done their due diligence on their own project and what they're competing against.
Yep.
But yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, this has been a great AMA. I really appreciate you guys coming down here, bringing the whole team out here. I do believe I might be able to. I'm not sure what my schedule is, but I think one of your founders, Natalie or
Natalie.
Natales, yeah, might try to go. One of our friends connected us together, and we might when she goes to NFT NYC, we might go meet up for a coffee before the whole thing starts. So that could be a lot of fun. But like I said, I really appreciate you guys coming out here, and you guys kind of worked with my schedule, and I really appreciate that. I was out of town last week, and we were supposed to have this AMA. So thank you guys again, and I think I speak on behalf of everyone from the Gajira fam that we thank you very much, and it was very cool that you guys, from the gracious of your heart, were able to give out some whitelist spots to the people that came out here and actually spent time, educating themselves and learning about a new project, because this is not just the same old project that we've been coming out, and PFP project with a token coming out. It's very, very different. It's actually trying to push things a little bit differently, and I kind of like the direction that this is going for sure. So once again, thank you guys so much. I wish you guys the best of luck with your mint, and we will definitely talk soon.
Thanks a lot. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Light is.